Hi everyone, this is Yura from Unity Days, and today we'll be talking about something a little bit more complicated than what we used to talk about. So, buckle up. Okay, so let's just imagine that you already got your university acceptance letter and you also got your visa handy. Now what? Well, basically, you have to get yourself to the university. Like buy flight tickets, buy train tickets, and arrive there. Easy, right? Sadly, no, it's not that simple anymore to actually travel to the UK. Yeah, due to the pandemic, there's a lot of things that have been changing, like aviation rules, travel regulations, border patrol regulations, health and safety protocols, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't go to the UK to study. You still can, but it's just that there's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to and you need to do research on before you actually go to the UK. Okay, don't panic, because I'm here to help you guys to navigate through all these new changes and all the things that you need to do before you actually buy your flight ticket to go to the UK. Right, before I actually start this informational video, I have to tell you guys a little teeny tiny bit of disclaimer. Number one, this video is based on my research and my experience of almost going to the UK as a tourist. Second, different rules apply to different countries and the rules keeps on changing. So even after you watch this video, do your own research about your own country and keep updated on the rule changes. So this video basically based on my experience in Indonesia. Okay, that's the end of disclaimer. Alright, first things first, before you actually buy a flight ticket to the UK, you need to find out first where your country is placed on the UK government's travel traffic light system. What? Yeah, it's basically the UK government's way to put different countries into different levels of COVID-19 spread. Something like that. So there's red, amber, and green level. With red level country means that the country have a huge spread of COVID-19, and green level countries are the safest. So here are the rules if your country falls into the red level. First things first, you have to take a PCR test 48 hours before your flight. And then you have to fill in a passenger locator form 48 hours before you land in the UK. You can find this form on the Gov.uk website. I will show you later. You also have to book a 10-day quarantine stay at a hotel. And this is not just any hotel. You have to book this through a website that is provided by the Gov.uk. And it can cost around £1,500 for 10-day stay. And before your flight, you also have to book day 2 and day 8 PCR test. Because when you get to the UK, you have to take a PCR test at day 2 in the UK and day 8. And if the test came negative, then you can end your quarantine at day 10. Now here's the rules if your country falls at amber level. It's still the same, like you have to take a PCR test 48 hours before your flight, you have to fill in passenger locator form and book day 2 and day 8 PCR test. The difference is that you can quarantine at any place. So either a hotel that you book or your friend's place or any place that you are staying in the UK. And it's still 10 days quarantine. But I think you can end it early if you have the test and release program. That one you have to actually book with a private sector for the PCR test, so you only test on day 2 and day 8 as well. But if you test negative on day 8, you can end your quarantine at day 8. It's just 2 days quicker. And here are the rules if your country is on the green level. You don't have to take quarantine, but you still need a PCR test 48 hours before your flight, and you still need to fill in the passenger locator form. But yeah, you don't have to quarantine, and you only need to book day 2 and day 8 PCR tests. Alright, I will show you the gov.uk website where you can find the traffic light levels and the hotel and PCR test and the passenger locator form.
For example, if I want to find out where Indonesia is in terms of the red, amber, and green list, I could just go to the gov.uk website and find out the red, amber, and green list. Pretty easy, right? You can also find out on Google, just type it in, and the first thing that will come up is this website. Alrighty, let's get into it. So what's inside this website? Basically all the rules you need for traveling into the UK during the pandemic. That includes the red, amber, green list, the rules for each list, and other information regarding Ireland, the UK, Channel Islands, Isle of Man, transit, and so on and so on. Okie dokie, let's find out where Indonesia is. There's a lot of countries listed in this website, so I'm just gonna give myself a shortcut and find where Indonesia is. And here it is. Sadly, it's moved to the red list. Damn. Okay, so you know that it's on the red list. Now you need to know the rules of going inside the UK if you're on the red list countries. Alright, so here it is. It says here that you are not allowed to enter the UK unless you are a British or Irish national, or you have the residence rights in the UK. Basically, if you're a student, you can still go to the UK because you have here the residence rights in the UK. Okay, and then you also need to know these rules before travel to England and or on arrival in England. And there are links here where you can find the quarantine hotel packages. So you can book your hotels, the managed quarantine hotels on this link. Also the 2-pack day 2 and day 8 COVID-19 test. Here's the passenger locator form, so just click this link. Don't forget to pay attention to other countries as well, just in case you need to do a transit or anything like that. Oh, and another thing that you need to pay attention to is this last updated thing. Why? Because this website is always updated, and your country could be moved to any of those lists. So be careful and keep watching this website frequently so you'll know whether your country has been moved or not.
So yeah, that's it really. Just a pro tip, if your country is actually on the red level, you can ask your university for help. For example, they could help you book the hotel for quarantine, and they can also help you book the PCR test for day 2 and day 8. Sometimes they also give like support packages when you are in quarantine. So just let them know which country you're coming from, what level they are in, and yeah, they will provide support. Now that we got the health and safety border protocols out of the way, we can focus on getting your flight tickets and your train tickets. Alright, so before all that, you need to find out where your university is located. Obviously, but this is to help you to choose which airport you should land on, if that makes sense. So, for example,
If I want to find out where is the nearest airport for University of York, I could just type in Google nearest airport to University of York. I cannot spell. Aha, ha 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 ha. And here it is. It will tell you which airport is the nearest. Manchester Airport. And luckily, there are a lot of flights that go to Manchester Airport. So I just need to book my tickets there.
right, now you know. Just a pro tip, you also need to pay attention where your flight transits. This is very, very important because if you transit on a red level country, then you have to follow the red level rules. So try to transit on like amber or green countries because it makes it easier when you have to quarantine.
Also, you need to find out whether you are allowed to transit in a certain country. Yes, it's that important because, for example, Indonesia, there's this rule that won't allow Indonesians to transit through Singapore. Yikes, I know. So we can't take Singapore Airlines. So you have to find another alternatives. For example, transit through the UAE or transit through Qatar on Qatar Airways. And yeah, if you want to find out about those information, just go to the airline website and pay attention to this latest news alert, included COVID-19 travel advisories. Oops, almost forgot. You also need to find out about your own country's rule to go outside your country because different countries have different rules. So, I remember that in Indonesia, if you want to go outside the country, you have to at least have vaccination either once or twice. I can't remember, but at least you have to get vaccinated.
Okay, now you got your flight tickets, and probably you need to get a train or a bus ticket as well if your university is outside bigger cities. So, do your research. Just go on to Google Maps and see how you can get to your university by bus or by train. And I would suggest that you buy your tickets when you actually get to the UK, like when you arrive. That's for train tickets. But for bus tickets, I think you have to actually book them online. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure about the rules for transportation, so you have to kind of research it by yourself. But if you're not allowed to take a train or a bus, you can always take a taxi. And yes, there are taxis that are willing to drive you to a certain city. Okay, so you have your flight tickets, your train tickets, you've booked your PCR test, quarantine hotels, normal hotels, another day 2, day 8 PCR test. Now what? Well, another pro tip, I guess, don't forget to print all your important documents such as CAS number, uni letter, accommodation confirmation, PCR test, PCR test bookings, etc. and etc. Because you do need to show this at the immigration border when you're in the UK. So they will ask you all these questions about where you are going to university, and they will need you to show your CAS number and so on and so on. So just have that handy, print it, and you carry it on your carry-on. I mean, you can also have it downloaded on your phone, but some immigration people don't like it when you show their phone, so it's best to have it on paper. And yeah, after that, you kind of have to prepare your bags. Pack your clothes, pack things, and all those stuff. And we'll discuss that on the next nerd out video. That's it really. Just to review, first things first, find out where your country lies on the red, amber, green list. Make sure to pay attention to the rules. It might change at any moment, so keep your eyes on the Gov.uk website. Don't forget to book hotels for quarantine, or book a place to stay basically. If you have an accommodation on the university already, you can quarantine there. Just ask your university. Book your flight tickets, book your train tickets, bus, or if you want to get a taxi, remember to fill in the passenger locator form, take the PCR test, print all the important documents. Yeah, basically just do your research. That's the most important thing. And you're good to go. Yay! All done. As usual, like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Go to our IG profile and comment and like our post. If you have any questions, you can always DM us or comment on this post and we'll try to answer your questions. And that's it, really. I guess I'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye!